Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Talk Time with Pastor Krista. Remember, this is the first full week of Lent, and Lent is that time on our Christian calendar when we take that 40-day walk with Jesus. So we walk with Jesus through the last 40 days of his life, but we also sadly witness Jesus' death. And then on Easter, we witness that glorious day when Jesus was resurrected and brought back to us in the form of a spirit that could live with us forever. How cool is that? So today we're going to be talking about questions because questions are something that's very important during Lent. God welcomes your questions. God would never put God's hand up and say, no questions. God does this and said, I welcome your questions. Come to me. Jesus would say, bring the small children to me so that they can ask me questions and that they can learn too. So please know that questions are something that are really good and they're really healthy to ask if you're going to have a good faith journey during Lent. So if you know me and I'm with a group of children that don't know each other too well, I grab this ball. And what we do is we play a little get to know each other game with some questions. So I pass the ball to somebody, they throw the ball up in the air, and wherever their left finger lands, that's the question they have to answer. So they would read the question. This question says, how did you meet your best friend? Well, I am really blessed in life and I've got a few best friends. I would say one of my oldest best friends I met at church. One of my really good best friends I met at work. And then I have 8 girlfriends from high school that we are just so close and we support each other and I love them and I met them in middle school. So that's how I would answer this question. So let's do one more. I'm going to throw it up. Now that was kind of a fun question. Let's see what this one says. This one says, describe Jesus in 3 words. So some of these questions are kind of fun and some of them are a little serious. So if I had to describe Jesus in 3 words, I would say this: loving, kind, and I would say Jesus was really smart. And I know that there are probably so many other words that we could use to describe Jesus, but those were the first 3 that popped into my head. So we use this ball to get to know each other. And how do we get to know each other? By asking questions. Well, boys and girls, that's how you get to know God. Never be afraid to ask a question about God. Never be afraid to go to God with your questions. So I want you to think about that for 1 minute. Who could you go to ask questions about God? You could go to mom or dad or grandma and grandpa, a trusted family member. Sometimes you could even have a conversation with somebody your own age about your questions. You can always come to your Sunday school teachers, and Rev G and I are always here to help answer your questions. But you know what? We don't have all the answers. The only one who has all the answers is God. So really, ask your questions to see if we can answer them here. But if we can't answer them here on earth with all of our brains and all of our heart, then say a prayer and ask God your question, and then be patient and listen for the answer. So I'm going to grab our Bible today because our Bible has some really cool scripture in it from the book of Jeremiah. And that's in the Old Testament, and it's Jeremiah 33:3. And this is what it says about questions. Call to me, and I will answer you, and will tell you great and hidden things that you have not known. So God says, call to me, ask me, pray to me, and I'll let you know what those answers are, but it might not be right away. You know, guys, God is something that isn't always easy to understand. Somebody told me this really cool thing once. They said, a God small enough to be worshiped, or a God small enough to be understood, would not be big enough to be worshiped. So I want you to think about that. A God small enough to be understood wouldn't be big enough to be worshiped. And that's the God we love. So boys and girls, as you go through this season of Lent, these 40 days, a lot of questions are going to pop into your head. Go ahead and ask. You can always text me, email me, give me a call, and I'll do my very best to answer your questions. So we are going to sing a song today about being a Christian and living eternally with God, because that's what Lent's about, this time when we watch Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, so we know that our souls, that part of us that's the best part that lives inside, will always live eternally with Jesus. So it's a lot of letters. If you know this song from chapel time, I want you to sing it with me. Here we go. I am a C, I am a CH, I am a CHRISTIAN, yay God, and I have CHRIST in my HEART, and I will LIVEETERNALLY. Whew! I am a Christian. I have Christ in my heart, and I will live eternally. Now, you know what we do. We go a little faster. So let me take a deep breath. We're going to do it one more time really fast. Here we go. I am a C, I am a CH, I am a CHRISTIAN, yay, got it. And I have CHRIST in my HEART, and I will LIVEETERNALLY. Whoo, deep breath. And that is how we're going to end our talk time today. So do the benediction with me, boys and girls. Are you ready? Here we go. My heart loves your heart because Jesus first loved us. And if you're wondering where I am today, I'm in another room in church that you probably don't even know exists. This is the room where the bell players practice. And behind me is a beautiful tree with all the music notes on the wall. And that, boys and girls, is one of the reasons we sing every talk time, because music is an important way to worship God. So on that final note, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will join you again on Thursday. So you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you Thursday.